Welcome to Revit 2019 Demo 46. For this lecture, we're going to discuss key schedules. Schedules can have the same characteristics. A room might have 100 rooms with the same floor, ceiling, and base finishes. Rather than adding all this information for all 100 rooms, you can define keys that automatically fill in the information for those rooms. If a room has a defined key, then as that room is added to a schedule, the fields in the schedule automatically update. You define keys using key schedules. When you create a key, it is listed as an instance property for the element. When you apply a value for the key's attributes are applied to the element. So let's go ahead and try this. We're going to open up Revit 2019 Demo 20. So go ahead and navigate to your demos folders and find that demo. It should have rooms in it, but no data added to the rooms yet, which is fine. So if I go to level 1, I'm going to look for bedroom 1. For bedroom 1, I've noticed that there's no data input other than the department, which is fine. So we want to copy that bedroom 1 room and surrounding walls to the clipboard and then paste the level by name so we have some common rooms. So what we can do is we can select these surrounding walls along with that value, copy it, and then we can click modify. It didn't copy correctly, so you want to make sure that you just select them correctly, hit copy, hit out in space under modify. It's not working, so let's select the room. So we're going to window select from the room to the walls, copy. I didn't hit the right copy. You want to copy to clipboard rather than copy. So we're going to hit copy, paste a line to selected levels 2 through 7. So make sure you don't hit this copy because this copy is not the same copy as this copy. And we're going to hit OK. And it's going to paste all those walls and those rooms across the 3D views. So we'll go to 3D and we can see that now we have all the rooms pasted up with all the walls. Now from here, what we want to do is we want to go into View, Schedules. So we'll go to View, Schedules, Schedule Quantities. From Schedule Quantities, we want to name it Room Style Schedule. So we're going to go Room Style. Make sure your caps isn't on. Room Style Schedules. Or Schedule. And it says Def, which is fine. But we want to make sure that we choose rooms. So we're going to scroll down to rooms because that's what we're focused on. And from here we want to choose schedule keys. And then the key name is going to be room style DEF. And then you can say OK. Now we can see what's associated. So we want to choose the different variables that we're going to add. So from here, we want to add department and floor finish. And you'll notice that the first value is key name, so department and floor finish. And we want to remember that having to add department names for the color fill plans, we did that. So that's why we're pulling the department in because we've already done that. And we're going to hit OK. And now you'll notice the key schedule. Now what we can do from here is we can insert data rows. So we can actually come in up here and we notice the small schedule and we can insert values. So we can say insert data row, and insert data row. So we need to have 4 rows. Now in here we've added the department and the floor finish. So the key name is going to be specified as follows. We want to have patient room. And I'm just tabbing through. So, and then I can start typing. Common area, tab, shift tab back. Restrooms, tab, shift tab. Storage, tab, shift tab. Everything's in order. So under patient room, I have department, floor finish. I want to add some more fields, so I'm going to go ahead and add the ceiling finish and the wall finish. So ceiling finish and wall finish, and hit OK. And under patient room, I'm going to change department to sleeping, which we have because it exists. Common area is living, so we'll set that to living. Restrooms is going to be service. Storage is going to be non-living. And then floor finish will be carpet. We don't have a floor finish in here. Even though we had a demo that put it in, we didn't save that from that, which is fine. Patient room is carpet. The common area is actually wood. So we'll set this to carpet, this to wood. We're going to use all caps in this case. Restrooms, it's going to be tile. Storage is going to be concrete. And you'll notice as I click these drop downs, it'll show me those values. But for this, I want this to be, this one is going to be wood. I don't know why wood's not showing up now. I think it's because I eliminated wood altogether, and therefore it doesn't show up when you do that. Ceiling finish is gyp for patient room. So patient room is gyp. Restrooms is 2x4 ACT. 2x4 ACT. Storage is going to be none. There is no ceiling. In the common area, we're going to have 70s. I don't know why it says cot cheese, but we're going to say, we'll go ahead and say 2x4 ACT as well. We'll leave that as 2x4 ACT. The demo on 369 says 70s cottage cheese. I think it's just the that bubbled ceiling tile, so we're not going to worry about that. So we'll continue on to the rest. So we're going to go to wall finish. Popcorn ceiling, I think is what I meant to say, but we're going to just continue on. PLAM is going to be this one for the wall finish. And the bottom one is going to be for patient room PL235. And then this one is going to be restroom CT567-PL234. And then we're going to do storage as PL101. So we have that all specified. Now let's test it. So we're going to go to floor plan level 1. And we're going to select a room. So we're going to select the bedroom 1. So we're going to select this guy here. And if I scroll down, you're going to notice that room style def is associated as an identity number here. And then from here, I can choose what that value is. So I can select the room, go to the properties. We can see the choices in the identity data. We can choose room schedule and go to properties. And we can choose fields. So we're going to choose the room style. So for this one, we're going to just say common, actually we'll say patient room in this case. And now if I go back to we have that key schedule in there. That key schedule is associating all of these values to the room schedule. So if I were to create a room schedule, go into rooms, we don't have schedule keys associated, that's fine, but we do have room style associated. So what I could do is I could say, okay, well, let's just use that. And now I know that the style associated is room style, but under fields, all of the values that I had associated, such as wall finish, let's go back. We had department, boom, floor finish, boom, ceiling finish, boom, wall finish, hit OK. It's associated to that value. So if I were to associate every single room above to a patient room, it's automatically going to pull the values of the schedule keys. And that's the power of a schedule key. So if you have, for example, an assembly, and you wanted to associate an assembly to not just rooms, but to, like, say, a mechanical piece of equipment, you could come in here and have all the different types of assemblies associated, and that would pull all the relevant information that you need to order. So they become very, very valuable. Now, what's happening right now is I'm assigning the room style, patient room, to every room in the project, meaning that every department's going to change based on what I've chosen. So be aware of what you're doing. One thing we could do that we left off was the room name. So if I move the room name to the top, this will tell me what room it is. I don't know what the problem room was. That's fine. That's from one of our past demos. But if bedrooms are all patient rooms, I could change this to a bedroom and actually specify the floor finish, ceiling finish, and wall finish. and that would live update this value from the schedule keys, which are here. And the reason this definition piece is here is it allows us to know that this is potentially a schedule key. So when we associate room style schedules to room schedules, we know that this is what's being pulled in through the key name. But the key name is associated to room style. And so if we go back to, because that's the parameter name, this room style definition, I don't know if we can change that. We can test. Yeah, you can change that. So you can actually change that. We said room style. So be aware that this parameter name is how the parameter name is going to show up in the room schedule. So in the past, this definition field would show up automatically. It looks like they may have removed it in 2019 to where if I change that to room style and then I change this to just room style schedule, then what can happen now is under room schedule, this value didn't update, but the field should have. Yeah, room style. So adding that definition component helps you to be able to see it a lot better. So if I ask you in your project to go in and list out the floor finish, the ceiling finish, and the wall finish of each room, this would be the quickest and most efficient way to do it based on general areas of your building. These are much more applicable to a commercial building generally, just with the way that this demo is set up. But if you set this up for a contractor, for a custom home builder that builds like the same floor plan across a series of different developments, that could be helpful as well. And that's the extent of this lecture. So we'll go ahead and do a file save as. So we'll go up here, file, save as, project, revit2019demo46. And I will see you in the next lecture.